So I wanted to change the paint scheme on my Imperial Guard for a while now. So I went and I primed a few of them, re-primed a few of them. And I've got a whole bunch of different Imperial Guard I've acquired over the years. My first set are these guys that I assembled, painted myself. You can see I kind of did a slightly more muted colors, which for almost 20 years old has held up pretty well, especially considering it's tester's paint and, you know, not exactly the premium stuff. You can see I've done modifications to these guys and went with sort of a Vietnam era type muted colors and everything. Here's kind of the commander I had for him and stuff. But this is fine, right? And I'll showcase how many Imperial Guardsmen I have. But part of the problem is a lot of my Imperial Guard have been acquired over the years as used lots because, yeah, I was young, did not have a lot of money, and when somebody was offering up a whole army, I bought it. And you can see I've got the red and white ones. I've got the gray and black ones, and they're just, I mean, they're painted. They're technically 3 colors, but this isn't something that I'm going to take either one of these really to a event or put up on a shelf and be proud of, right? Especially because I didn't paint these. I've got some green and black ones. A lot of guys like this. It's kind of almost the more traditional with the red las guns and stuff, which again, this is fine, but it's not something I'm super proud of, and again, didn't paint it myself. Then I've got these guys, which a friend of mine had painted, and when he got out of 40k, I acquired. I like these guys. I like these guys pretty well. I think their gray and black pattern is a bit more subtle. They're all based fairly well, and they got lots of little accents, and really he got a lot of the details. I like these guys. That said, I don't want to paint all of my army in this gray and black. So, and that's, again, not all the guys I have. I also have a Cadian army, which is actually painted really well and sort of semi-matches some of my guys I've got painted. It's having a hard time. There we go. Now I'll focus then. The guy who painted these guys did a really good job, I think, and I've got a whole lot of Cadians. And again, kind of the older sculpts at this point are showing their age, but still, for a model that's 20-ish years old, and for these Cadians especially that were painted back then, held up pretty well. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bunch of these guys that I've reprimed. I'm going to try a few different things, but what I really want to do is a tiger stripe Vietnam SF type pattern and see what I can do with it. Doing it with contrast paints and yeah, just see what I can come up with. So stay tuned. To get this started, I'm starting off with a sort of pale green, this plague bearer flesh, to kind of get that lighter green down for his uniform. So we'll give this a shot and see how it looks. So I've got the plague bearer green dried. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some kind of Black Templar contrast to try and put on some tiger stripes. Now with this, the goal is to make it sort of an organic flow, while at the same time not making it too crazy. see how it goes, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Warp Lightning Contrast, and I'm going to paint some green stripes on this model, and that should give me more of the tiger stripe pattern that I'm looking for. So let's see how this goes. So there it is, dried, and it's actually pretty close to what I want, so I'm really happy with it. So what I'm going to do is paint the rest of this guy up. I'm going to use a couple different greens and stuff for his armor, brown for his boot, leather straps, and black for his boots, because they're jungle boots. And we'll see what this guy looks like painted up. So here is the final product. I think it came out pretty good. It's moderate amount of effort for what I get, and since I got to duplicate this for several hundred Imperial Guardsmen, we'll see what kind of progress I make and how they all look once I get some more of them painted up. So what I did, I wanted to do the base a bit and kind of repose the guy, which isn't a big deal because he's kind of my test model, and I don't give a crap really about the base right now. But I, put a tactical rock in there to kind of increase his height, which kind of makes him match some of the new Cadians a bit better, and put a little bit of basing on there. And I got some thoughts of other stuff I'm going to add. They're jungle kind of themes, so I will have them appropriately based. But yeah, reposed them a little bit, and I'm working on painting the rest of the squad. So what I'm going to do now is get the rest of the base done. I'm going to use a squig orange to make it kind of look like a red clay, and yeah, we'll see how this looks. So here's the base with the squig orange on. I'll go back here after it dries and go ahead and do a shade and a wash on that. We'll see how it looks. Here it is, my final test paint of my Cadians. Here it is, the final test paint of my Cadians with tiger stripe pattern jungle camo. That base, kind of a muddy red clay, a little plant on there. I think he came out pretty good. So here they are, whole squad finished of Cadians with jungle camo. Came out pretty good.